All right, let's take a look at some breaking news coming in. Against the backdrop of growing uncertainty in India-US ties, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to reach out to East Asia in the upcoming weeks. As a part of this initiative, Prime Minister Modi is expected to visit Japan to meet his Japanese counterpart Ishiba by the end of August. The visit of Japan is significant as both countries are part of the Quad initiative that was launched by Australia, India, Japan and the United States in 2017. And according to reports, both state leaders are expected to hold high-level talks to strengthen bilateral ties and focus on strategic and, most importantly, economic regional cooperation. Joining me on the telecast is Brian Thomas. Brian, take us through the details in terms of this visit of Prime Minister Modi that is reportedly set to take place in August.
Well, clearly, as of now, what we're getting to know from the reports that yes, Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is scheduled to meet Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on August 29th for a high-level summit that is aimed at deepening the strategic partnerships between the two nations. Very importantly, the discussions are also expected to cover a broad range of issues, which with a sharp focus on strengthening bilateral ties, enhancing economic cooperation, and even advancing collaboration on regional and strategic matters itself. Now, both leaders are also likely to explore opportunities to bolster trade, to boost trade, investment, and technological exchange, while also addressing shared concerns in the Indo-Pacific region, including maritime security, supply chain resilience. And this visit also underscores the growing importance of the India-Japan relationship, particularly in the face of shifting geopolitical dynamics and a shared vision for a free, open, and a rule-based international order. Yes.
All right, Brian, stay on with us. We have more updates coming in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Brazilian President Luiz spoke over the phone, with the latter revealing that they discussed the imposition of unilateral tariffs after US President Donald Trump slapped a 50% tariff on both the countries. The highest rate he has announced so far. Shortly after the call, Prime Minister Modi tweeted about the interaction, focusing on deepening strategic ties and recalling his memorable and meaningful visit to Brazil during the BRICS summit. Both the leaders also reiterated that the importance of cooperation between global South nations. Brian, take us through the details in terms of this call that was held between Prime Minister Modi and Brazilian President. All right, viewers, my colleague is currently facing some audio issues, but we'll get that sorted. But meanwhile, we are getting to know is Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a telephonic conversation with the Brazilian President Luiz Lula da Silva, and the latter revealed that they discussed the imposition of unilateral tariffs after US President Donald Trump slapped a 50% tariff on both the countries, India and Brazil, which is the highest rate Donald Trump has announced so far. And shortly after the call, Prime Minister Modi tweeted about the interaction, focusing on deepening strategic ties and recalling his memorable and meaningful visit to Brazil during the BRICS summit. Brian is back on the telecast with us. Brian, take us through the details that in terms of this conversation that was held between the two.
Well, clearly, there was a very fruitful discussion between both the leaders of Brazil and the Prime Minister itself, and they shared concerns about tariffs itself, and clearly also the conversation deepened the ties also between the two nations itself, and how important it is to work together for a strategic force, and not just strategic force but also economically, how important they can be dependent on each other itself. So yes, clearly a very engaging discussion and a fruitful discussion that happened between the two leaders.
All right, Brian.